Hello teacher, I'm going to show you a problem that in the past I faced and maybe might be for job. My name is Andres Jimenez. I am a study. I work currently like a coordinator engineer. However, this project that I'm going to show you it's about my before job where I was the manufacturing engineer in that business. I am from Mexico. My profession is mechanical and electrical, and this project it's about the recycling of solid tooling from the batch furnace. The batch furnace is one type of the batch furnace that we had for the heat treatment in that company. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to explain something. When when I was in that company, so we normally applied this methodology for the for the solve of the for the solve of the problems. The methodology it's called the MIC because we have to give a solution in D, M, A, I, and C. According to the problem, I'm going to explain a little about this, but in this case, this is the letter D, where I'm going to define the what is the problem. And here I'm going to give you one explanation about the the project that I faced in the moment. The start date of this project it was on June 2021 and we end this project in March 2022. This project it was applied for the batch furnace that it was a furnace for heat treatment. Yeah, and this it was for the machine 632 and 633, right? And in that moment, the workshop leader I was the responsible, and my team it was for the segment leaders Suarez, Hector Suarez, and my two bosses, Orlando Rayon and Fernando Delgadillo, right? And the engineer Olga Carrera. The definition of this problem or this project, it was the problems with the damage tooling. In that moment, we had a lot of problems with the damage tooling because we had a lot of years storage this tooling in the area, and had to use a lot. We have to use a lot of space for to storage this tooling. Additional, this problem it was in the pandemic, and we had a lot of problems with the cost of the delivery and the delivery time, because in the pandemic it was very difficult. On other hand, in that moment, I remember that we had we have had another batch furnace, and we had to implement projects for to reduce this damage tooling in our area, right? Okay. If you the next letter is the letter M, where you can find all the measure that we did in their moment. The in this table you could find all the tooling that we found damage in their moment, and this is the weight of each piece, and this is the quantity of pieces that we found in their moment. If you solve these pieces for their uh, kilograms, you could find the tons that we had, right? Uh, in that moment, we had 3,268 tons. For that reason, we had to do a project. In the right side, you could find what's the meaning of damage tooling, and this is a picture where you can see cracks in the tooling, and for the process, this tooling is obsolete, right? Okay, then the next letter it's one analysis. In I remember that in the step of the analysis we found two solutions. The first solution it was to sell the tooling to a, a supplier, and we found three suppliers with a purpose. One of them it was in Puebla. The other supplier it was in UK, and the other supplier it was in Booster. I remember United States Booster. And and this is the analysis that we did in the moment. The savings it was this. But this is one option. The second option that we found in their moment it was the uh, it was this with a supplier called Omnitech. He uh, he he did a purpose for us that if we send the tooling to the storage, he could he could do the the next steps. For example, uh, for each for each part from the original supplier, the cost of the loot bars it was 50 59 heroes. However, if you uh, send all the 3.2 tons to Omnitech, he could offer to us a special price uh, for each tooling. Uh, when we buy original tooling, the cost is 59. However, if we buy with Omnitech, the cost is 30 euros. Yeah. Another advantage is the reduction in tooling and cost. The delivery time it was reduced to 5%, 50%, and we don't found delivery cost. And on the other hand, the development of a new supplier. Okay, this is the layout that we had in that moment, and this is a representation about the machines that we had in the area. This is the batch furnace 1, and this is the batch furnace 2, and we did an analysis about how many tooling we need in the area and how many tooling we could keep damage in the area, right? Uh, in the step of implementation, uh, we uh, we send all the tooling to Omnitech, and when we did another analysis, we had these savings. The prediction for 1 year it was from 31,132 heroes. That it was our projection in that moment. However, we started selling the tooling from 2021, and in 2022, this is the saving that we had in that moment. Yeah. Finally, in the letter C, we implement uh, a control for to do an inventory uh, per week. And on the other hand, when we development the tooling, we ask for a chemical analysis for each tooling that we buy for the new supplier. In achievements, we better the delivery times. We uh, we cost savings. We uh, we did area optimization. We did development of the new supplier, and we did a continuous recycling plan. This is our saving, and in that project, I remember that I feel very well because this project it was one of the most important that I made in my career. And one other hand, uh, this project it was a challenge because I had to the challenge to uh, for to solve a problem that it has a lot of years in the area. Um, those This is all, and thank you for listening.